Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
And Gabrielle, are you there to share about the workshops?
Welcome to everybody who is here. For those of you who are running off to other tracks, it was nice knowing you, and we'll see you soon. For those of you who are hanging around, I'm just going to play a little music for a while. I see some faces and some names that I'll be meeting later on in this evening on some of the other sessions. So hang in there. This is your last chance to run to the potty or to grab yourself a glass of water. We'll be starting up just about in 15 minutes. So in the meantime, we're going to play a little music and see a little bit of Australia. Welcome, everyone, to the Global Transformational Festival. This is day one, session one, track one. I see Dom, I see Rial, I see Gaytek, I see David, see a bunch of people out there, and welcome to all of you. This is going to be a fun session. The theme for this first session this evening is management, and I think that covers a whole lot of stuff. So we're going to start off this evening's program just to give you a little bit of an idea how things are going to work. Each of you will have an opportunity to make your presentation, 15 minutes or so. And then what we'd like to do is after everyone's had a chance to present their presentation, then we'd like to get together and have kind of a group panel discussion and maybe share and intertwine some of those ideas. So with that said, if everybody's ready to get started, Dom, Mel is our first speaker this evening, and Dom is held senior human resources positions within the public and corporate sectors for organizations such as BHP, during which time he successfully managed the resolution of significant disputes, the negotiation of employee agreements, and drove performance improvements and change programs. So over the past 15 years, Dom has established himself as a trusted advisor and innovative consultant, helping leaders and organizations to develop, define, and deploy strategies which have resulted in sustainable organizational improvements. Dom's traveled to the United States to study change programs, workplace engagement, and performance programs, and he holds a Bachelor of Economics from Sydney University, along with certifications in EI, personality assessment, coaching, CBT, ACT, and whole brain thinking. Dom has studied stress management, well-being, and resilience at Nature Care College, and is a member of the International Positive Psychology Association and alumni of Mount Eliza Business College. He's a principal of PATV and is primarily responsible for publication, interviews, thought leadership in organizational culture, engagement, communication, customer service, and leadership. So, Dom, with that entry, it's all up to you now. It's all yours. Feel free to share your screen if you'd like to show us anything in particular. So go ahead, it's all yours. I think you're muted, Don.
Thanks, Mike. Can people see the screen that I'm sharing? Got a thumbs up?
Absolutely, I can.
You're going to need to talk a little louder, though, maybe, Dom, because you're real low.
Okay. I've had some troubles with the connection, so please let me know if it's not coming through. How's that now? And I'll get started. Okay.
A little better. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Look, when I was asked to speak at this festival, I considered what is it that I care about and what am I passionate about and what's relevant for today. The virtue of leadership in difficult times. Simply, there's never been a more important time to be good. I'm the principle of people at their best, and we help everyone to be their best. That's our mission. That's what drives us. Maya Angelou said that people won't remember what you say, they won't remember what you do, but they'll always remember how you make them feel. So I keep thinking, how is it that I want people to feel? I want you to feel challenged. I want you to feel inspired. but mostly I want you to feel enabled to become the leaders that you want to be. Now, I'm very happy to share my slide deck. If anyone wants a copy of it, please just let me know. So firstly, what is a good leader? What makes some people good leaders? And what do you believe leadership should look like? As I move through this presentation, keep a mental list of the qualities that you regard as a good leader. My comments today are anchored in organisational leadership in a work context, but the qualities I'll be discussing relate to all of us and all domains of human experience, not only our work. And this brings me to my second core message. Leadership is what you do, regardless of the title. We all have the opportunity to lead at any moment and to take responsibility for doing the right thing. So if your actions inspire others to dream more, to learn more, to do more, to become more, then you are a leader, to quote John Quincy Adams. But this begs the question, is building the capacity of the people around you, the people you care about, do you regard that as your responsibility? Do you do it consciously and deliberately? How well are you serving the people that you care about? So before you decide to be a leader, your success is all about you, about serving yourself. But when you decide to be a leader, then success is all about serving others, helping them to become the best that they can be. And in this statement, it's the concept of service, not just because it's a predictor of leadership success, which it is, but for your own personal well-being. It's a shift from attention from the self to the other. But leadership's never been more difficult. VUCA is a term coined by the US military, but I think it's very appropriate for us today. It stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Leaders now face an unpredictable world, packed full of novel problems we've not had to deal with previously. What's changed is that we're now faced with highly complex situations where multiple problems have to be addressed simultaneously, with little certainty about how things will turn out. This image of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010 is really relevant. Why was it so difficult to deal with this emergency? Well, in complex environments, what's required is leadership that's collaborative, especially when making decisions, and collective when trying to solve problems. Leadership that leverages different ideas, but instead we had traditional leadership behaviour in this situation, vertical decision-making and linear problem solving. And these are not sufficient to deal with complex environments that are unfolding in non-sequential and unpredictable ways, where there's no one right answer. In such environments, more flexible, divergent and emerging thinking is required because the problems are too multifaceted for one person working alone to solve. Collective intelligence is what's required. The rock star of science, Dr. Brian Cox, says that all true breakthroughs, all progress require more than one brain. And never has this been more true. We need leadership that's inclusive, collaborative, collective, to leverage diverse ideas so that we bring out our best selves to fully contribute to solving the world's complex problems. That's my next core message. Leaders need an approach that fosters collective intelligence and collaborative effort. And that's an antidote to VUCA. This year we ran the future of leadership. So what is that? What does that look like? It's going to be about engaging others to align their efforts, being inclusive and leveraging diverse thinking, being flexible so that we can respond appropriately to our accelerated change environment. Very importantly, it'll be about creating experiences that the people around you value. This is important because the future belongs to those cultures that are engaged, inclusive, flexible, adaptive, and driven to create meaningful experiences. Are you leading in the way described on the right-hand side of this slide? What might be letting you down and what can you do about it? In cultivating this culture, you will position yourself, your team, those you care about for our uncertain and unpredictable future. So are you ready for that future? This graphic represents the shifts that we believe leaders and cultures must move towards, the right-hand column here. You see there's a mega trend occurring all around the world where we're witnessing the substitution of material consumption for experiences. In future, experiences will be more valued than products, and purpose will be a bigger driver than profit. As a result, successful leaders and successful cultures will be the ones that embody the descriptors on the right of this graphic. In a world where everything can be copied and replicated, where everything is being automated, there's really only 4 areas that machines can't imitate. And that's helping people to make sense of complexity, helping people to feel understood, helping people to feel valued, and helping people to see a path to a better future. It's in the creation of those experiences where the leaders create real value. It's where the future of leadership resides. But to do that well, leaders need empathy. And I'll come back to that in a moment. So this year we ran a leadership survey, and we posed a question to get people to think about the challenges of the last 18 months, not just COVID, but extreme weather events and climate events. And we asked people what are the qualities that they've observed in leaders that have helped them to navigate those challenges? What's clear is that we admire leaders who are humble, who are open, who are authentic, who demonstrate service to others and empathy, those that are positive and composed, those that are flexible, those that have emotional intelligence and alignment, leaders who are clear about their purpose and work to connect others to it. And then we also asked people, what are the leaders in Australia need for us to flourish as a nation, to become a more confident nation and work our way out of the challenges that we're currently facing? And the list was really clear. It's the right-hand side of this column. We want leaders to be inclusive, to cultivate that collective intelligence. We want leaders to be bridge builders, to bring us together, to unite us, to take a global perspective, a willingness to make mistakes. It's a fundamental requirement for progress. We want people to give it a go, the courage to act on those important issues, to be open-minded to new ideas, to communicate clearly because that mitigates uncertainty. Better engage us, to build social capital and public trust, and an outward mindset that focuses on others, but more than anything, emotional intelligence. We want leaders to be more focused on people, to be more humanistic. Now, there's a real weakness in what I've been saying so far, and that I haven't acknowledged the terrible forces of self-interest, cynicism, narcissism, acting on our ability to be our best selves. The 3 great ills of modern life: individualism, materialism, and hyper-competition. Worse still, our current neoliberal economy pits us against each other and devalues our humanness. What ought a leader do in such a world? What we're clear about is in a time of crisis, leaders need to remember that an abundance mindset is more helpful. Quite simply, this is a time for virtuous leadership. And Kim Cameron's shown that when leaders embrace abundance, when they behave virtuously, when they adopt positive practices, there's a defined link to quality and innovation and engagement, and boy, don't we need those things right now. Unfortunately, most of our leaders arrive at our challenges with a scarcity mindset, where everything is a battle for resources. With such a mindset, there's never enough, and such leaders facilitate panic and competition. Whereas an abundance mindset positively impacts our physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. Leaders with an abundance mindset know there's enough to go around, that humanity is capable of meeting its challenges. Such leaders empower us. They enable us to be our best selves. Authentic leadership is critical. This means behaving in accordance with your values, what we call values congruent behavior. Such leaders are regarded as having more integrity. They reveal their real selves. It also means being driven by a larger purpose, something that focuses on others. So reveal your real self, behave with integrity, be driven by a larger purpose, and you will be seen as someone of character. And that's the crucial dimension of leadership and building trust. But in a world that's so polarized, where the focus is on pointing out our differences, there's not been a more urgent time to remind each other about our shared humanity, about what we have in common. For this reason, I argue the key role of leadership today is to unite us, to bring people together, to find our common ground. Our political leaders have failed miserably against that criteria. Aligning people you care about to a higher purpose is the difference between those groups or societies that flourish and those that stumble. Done well, that purpose acts as a beacon. It orients us. It directs all of our efforts. In fact, it's a key characteristic of high-performance cultures. They have a deeper sense of purpose and a deeper commitment to that shared mission. This is the role of leaders. Nothing is more important. And why? Because leaders understand that people that live their purpose are able to inspire and do great things. This is because purpose creates meaning in our lives. It gives our lives coherence. It gives us significance. Our deepest urge as humans is to feel that we matter, that we have a purpose, that what we do makes a difference. So defining your purpose creates tremendous power to engage, to motivate, to inspire. As a result, mission-driven individuals, teams, and whole societies do better. What's fundamental, of course, is that the purpose is bigger than ourselves. As Martin Seligman so beautifully says, the self is a very poor place from which to find any meaning. And that's the aim of defining our purpose, to create meaning in our lives. Why? Because as Viktor Frankl says, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by a lack of meaning and purpose. I said earlier that to cultivate a culture that's future ready, leaders require empathy. This is because empathy promotes trust. If someone feels understood, they're far more likely to trust you. So looking at this slide, your best bet as a leader is actually to seek to understand others. And this is so important right now. The more services are automated, the more important empathy becomes. The more it's required on those remaining human interactions. This is due to the fact that technology can't build trust. Only humans can, because only humans can demonstrate empathy. Because empathy can't be automated, it lies at the heart of human experience. It's the heart of leadership. I think there's 7 C's to empathy, things like courage and care and collaboration. And I argue that's what's most needed today in our leadership in these difficult times. Now, look, I could talk all day about engagement, and I regularly do as part of the work we do, but rather than go into what it is, I want to simply just give you a model for how leaders can cultivate great engagement. And this is important because 70% of a person's perception of their satisfaction comes down to the relationship with their leader. So here are the 5 pillars for great engagement. Pillar 1, as I said before, our deepest urge is to feel valued. And people that don't feel valued rarely make valuable contributions. As a leader, you need to be constantly asking the people around you, what do you think? Because this validates our humanness. It helps us to feel valued. And as a leader, your most valuable asset is the ability to listen, to connect with others. Pillar 2, people want a sense of purpose. As we've talked about, they want to know where the team's headed. And you've got to be 10 times clearer about that than you think you have to be. Pillar 3, it's almost impossible to improve if people don't know how they're going, what they need to do differently. So giving objective, constructive feedback's the most effective performance lever that you can pull. And people want to know that what they do matters. Your biggest challenge as a leader is to help people know that their contribution is vital. And pillar 5, make people feel they're part of something special, part of a great team. So be the leader you wish you had had. Be present for those you care about. There's 6 parts to that. People want a chance to collaborate with you, for you to help them to grow and develop and learn. They want more feedback and guidance from you about how they're going and where they're headed. And they want your time because that helps them to feel valued, and it helps them to understand the purpose of their work. Get this engagement piece right, and you will inspire people to overachieve and to surpass expectations. Now, to finish, I just want you to reflect for 30 seconds. I want you to define for yourself what sort of leader you want to move towards. What does your leadership look like? And if you can articulate just 2 things that you can do differently to become that leader, to become the best leader you can be, then that's fantastic. While reflecting on that, thank you kindly for listening. Please reach out to me if you want to explore anything further. I'm passionate about leadership, and I genuinely love discussing it with people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. That was extremely interesting, extremely right on. It's, if leaders don't lead from the heart, nothing's going to happen. So it's good to see people leading business leaders who feel that way. So I'm inspired.